To display a decorative line below the clickable text, we need to use absolute position, relative position, and z-index together. Therefore, we've decided to take this opportunity to clean some dead corners for you. Before this class, you might have thought you were already very familiar with relative position, absolute position, and z-index, but after this class, you'll be surprised of how little you knew about them. So get your pen and notebook ready and be prepared to be surprised. First, let's relearn the relationship between inline tags and line height. Let's create an A tag and set a background color to it. We can see the range of the background color is exactly the same as the clickable text. If we set line height to the A tag, the location of the clickable text will be pushed downward due to the bigger line height, but the range of the background color stayed the same. But if you try P tag, things will be different. The line height will directly contribute to the range of the background color. So let's assign absolute position to the A tag. Have you found any differences? After we've set absolute position to the A tag, the line height will be able to contribute to the size of the background color. If we remove the absolute position setting, the range of the background color will go back to its original size. By default, a child's DIV's width is the same as its parent DIV. But if we set the child DIV to absolute position, then its width will be the same as its contents. If the child DIV is empty, then its default width will become 0. Next, let's clean the dead corner of z-index. Let's create 3 DIVs. We set the first one to absolute position, and we can see the first DIV is now flying on top of the second and third DIV. Out-of-flow elements fly higher than normal flow ones. We set the second DIV to relative position and keep the third one in a static position. Now attention, until this moment, we've not used the z-index yet. Refresh the page and get ready to be surprised. Relative position keeps selected elements in normal flow, but this does not mean relative position will have a 0 influence to the selected element. The static position DIV is still below the absolute positioned one, but the relative position DIV is now displayed on top of the absolute position DIV. This result is quite surprising. The conclusion is, absolute positioned will cover static positioned elements defined behind it, but it will not cover relative positioned ones. Next, let's try z-index. If we set z-index to the absolute position DIV and set its value to 1, we can see the absolute position DIV is back to the top again. Next, let's set z-index to the static position DIV. We can see nothing happened. This means z-index does not work with static positioned elements. What about assigning z-index to the relative position DIV? We can see z-index works on relative positioned elements.